A brand new image from Jurassic World Rebirth has been released featuring Scarlett Johansson's character ZORA BENNETT deploying new tech, and we finally get a look inside that containment case. Welcome back to Jurassic Outpost. Let's dissect this new image and see what else we know about the upcoming Jurassic World sequel. Just last week, 4 new images from Rebirth released online in an Entertainment Weekly exclusive. We saw our first look at new characters including Rupert Friend's Martin Krebs and the character played by Baichir Sylvain. We also got more looks at Duncan Kincaid, Dr. Henry Loomis, and our Rebirth lead, ZORA BENNETT. These 4 images certainly satisfied those craving news and information on the upcoming sequel, giving us a look at some titular scenes and giving us a taste of the plot. Well, thanks to Screen Rant, a 5th image has now been unveiled, also featuring ZORA BENNETT, and it's the first that gives us a look inside that containment case. Now, this is the first of the new images that got released in incredibly high detail, and with that, we can look quite closely inside the case. But first, let's just admire these visuals. This shot gives off a very similar feel to The Lost World, the dark, foreboding jungle, or could this be a part of the temple? It's hard to make out for sure, but up front, we have ZORA BENNETT, the covert operations expert leading this movie, and here's what Screen Rant had to say. Screen Rant presents an exclusive image from Jurassic World Rebirth showing Johansson's ZORA deploying new tech on her dinosaur DNA hunt. The lead can be seen crouching in front of a suitcase with a mysterious technological looking object inside. While it's unclear what it is exactly, its purpose is likely to gather dinosaur DNA, potentially storing it on the green slide that appears right next to it. However, its exact nature in her mission remains unclear. It's uncertain at this point at what stage during the movie this scene takes place, but by this point in time, ZORA appears to be covered in scratches and little bits of blood. The clothing shows signs of wear and tear, indicating that by this point, they may have been on the island for quite some time. Anyway, let's take a look inside this case. DMCE, DMC, TS22-01 plus. I can't quite make out any of the other text, but as we look downwards towards what's inside, we can make out 3 spaces for maybe a vial of some kind for the DNA samples. The synopsis for this movie tells us that the team must capture DNA from the 3 most colossal creatures, and it would appear that this containment case, this suitcase, whatever you want to call it, will house those samples once captured. We've already seen ZORA's gun, which appeared to be some sort of dinosaur DNA capture device, and you may have noticed something, a vial of some kind, on Duncan Kincaid's belt. Duncan Kincaid is played by Mahershala Ali in this movie, and based on the description so far, is ZORA's number 2, her team leader. Now, the technology on display here feels quite appropriate for the era that we live in. This capture case feels modern but realistic, and honestly it fits right in with the Jurassic Park universe. It's all reminding me of Lewis Dodgson in Michael Crichton's The Lost World novel. His goal was to capture dinosaur eggs from the island for his company Biosyn, and while he was not successful, the idea of capturing DNA from the island of dinosaurs is something that just feels very Jurassic Park. While we have yet to see an image featuring a dinosaur or any of the creatures our characters will encounter on this island, all of the images released so far give off a fantastic and eerie visual style that this movie needs. One thing of note from this new image is that Scarlett is wearing the same boots that she posted a photo of back in September on her Instagram. The boots here definitely much cleaner than they are in this new image. Now, one thing is for certain, this image might not show a dinosaur, but it really is a great shot and gives us some indication on what this movie's plot, or at least what the setup really is. We know they're heading to an island somewhere along the equator, and that the goal is to capture DNA from dinosaurs for a pharmaceutical company that will aid in creating a life-saving medicine for humankind. David Koepp has discussed this movie briefly, saying how he created a list of 9 commandments that the movie and future movies in the franchise must follow. 3 of those were mentioned: no retcons, humor is oxygen, and the science must be real. Jurassic Park is of course a sci-fi movie, and its very subject matter, cloning dinosaurs, is on full display in that first film. Koepp's comments about keeping the science real is interesting, certainly suggesting that the franchise might have strayed far from what made the first movie so great, and that Rebirth is an attempt to bring it all back to its roots. After the release of Jurassic Park 3 back in 2001, both producer Kathleen Kennedy and animatronic genius Stan Winston discussed the fourth movie, stating how the screenplay had been a difficult one to figure out, going through multiple rewrites, because the goal was to balance the science and adventure. With the return of David Koepp, and with a director like Gareth Edwards joining the ranks and leading this movie, could Rebirth have finally nailed that goal? Will the seventh movie in this franchise perfectly balance the science and adventure? So with these new images all releasing and with there being lots of hype about the movie seemingly being drummed up, is the trailer on the horizon? We've discussed the trailer a number of times now, and in our trailer predictions video, I made the assumption that February 2025, around the time of the Super Bowl, is the most likely date for a Rebirth trailer release. And while I do still feel like that date is the most accurate, that Universal Pictures won't be teasing the movie this side of 2025, there's still a chance that Rebirth's trailer could drop this year. There's a bit of time left this month. Some people are thinking that Wednesday's NFL game on Christmas Day, no less, could see a surprise appearance of the trailer. We will be keeping our eyes peeled, but I'm not expecting much. However, Christmas Day also sees the release of Nosferatu. The 2024 remake of the silent classic. This movie opens on December 25th and is being distributed internationally by Universal. Given that, there could be a chance that Rebirth's trailer will open with this movie. However, no trailer classification has been given yet, so until that happens, I'm not so sure this one is likely. If Rebirth is taking a darker tone than the previous three movies, Universal could choose their upcoming horror movie Wolfman to debut the trailer. That arrives in theaters on January 17th, 2025, and honestly, debuting a trailer for Rebirth with this movie would certainly give off a great feeling, attaching it to a horror film, no less. All remains to be seen, of course. Make sure you stay tuned to Jurassic Outpost social channels for live, up-to-date coverage over the coming week, and of course, I will be keeping you up-to-dated on anything that drops over the holiday season. One more thing, one of the new images featured characters wading through a swamp, and thanks to Anthony, we have a little video look at this location in Thailand. We can see some of the film crew there, smoke machines being used to mist out the location, a kayak in the water, and we get a close look at this primordial swamp. That's it for this video. What do you make of this new image? Leave those thoughts and any others you might have down below in the comments. Thank you for watching this video.